trouble. We got Gage. We got a job for him.
Chief is a family-owned, Nebraska-based company comprised of 7 diverse brands. Chief, trusted, tested, true.
Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful day, just a little bit of a breeze, like 65 degrees right now, and the high, I believe, is 75. I'm going to be running the combine today, and Grant is going to be hopping in the skid steer. We have a little bit of a project in order to get the combine from one side of the field to the other. Grant has to do some dirt work on a little ravine we have to get through, and so he's going to be working on that while I am harvesting this field of soybeans. There's crop to be harvested under the pivot, so I'm going to get it moving and take over for Grant in the combine. All right, handing over the reins.
It's all yours.
Good luck in the skid steer. Combine is all us, you guys. There's a really nice window behind me, so I can see what my sample looks like, and it's really fun to watch this fill up with all of the grain. It's an auger that is putting it all in the tank. As you can see, this field has some interesting personality, and so we've gone through ahead and cut through the draws so that the head doesn't have to flex as much. You kind of like cut along this side and then cut along that side. And I think that really helps reduce a lot of wear on the bean head. It also makes my job as operator a lot easier, because then through the draws I can just pick the head up completely and I don't have to worry about sending one of the end snouts into a draw or anything. I don't know if you guys remember from a couple of videos ago, we were really struggling with our soybeans being blown over. And I haven't seen that as much in this field, but since I was saying, like, we do have some of those hillsides, I feel like the wind like funnels up the little channels in the field and blows over some of these beans, and it makes for really slow going. And it's really frustrating because they don't cut very evenly, especially when they're laid over this way and you're going this way. And so I saw a couple comments under a video that I posted a couple days ago where we were combining beans like this, and they were like, oh, well, duh, just drive the opposite direction. Which, yes, they do cut much better from the opposite direction, like when they're blown over this way and you're coming this way, but it does not make any sense at all for me to harvest all the way down, drive a half mile back, harvest all the way down. So I see the solutions there, but that would just not make any sense at all. All the unloading happens on the go, which can be kind of tricky because I'm keeping my eyes scanning back and forth on the head while also making sure I don't miss the cart. It really helps that I have my mother-in-law driving the cart for me, and she does an excellent job. A very common request I've been seeing, yes, I know that needs to be greased, is what kind of snacks I've been mowing down on. And let me tell you, there is quite a lot. We've got all sorts of Cheez-Its and crackers and beef jerky and cookies. My favorite energy drink / source of caffeine, besides the lattes that I have every morning, yes, are Celsius's, and then the little V8 energy juices. I really like those. I always have a big thing of water with me. I've really been liking, I cut up a whole bunch of apples this morning, and last night I made this apple fruit dip with cream cheese and brown sugar and peanut butter and cinnamon, and it's so good. So I have a lot of that in there too. And then at home I usually have some kind of like sandwich and chips or something for lunch, And I either trade out positions in a piece of equipment with Grant or Gage or Grant's dad or Grant's mom, so that I can go home and cook dinner, or we go out for dinner, or somebody is kind enough to bring us dinner in the field. But that's what Grant and I have been eating lately. Finishing up this pass, and then we can go cut a new land over there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but we have to go until those power poles. So like not quite to those trees, but a little before that. So she's following me down there, and it looks like Grant is down there. I wonder how his ravine project went.
Got the skid steer with the bucket on it, and I also brought the mower, put it on the trailer, and pulled it here with my pickup. Gonna go down there by the trees and work on a ravine. Over there you can see the combine working off in the distance. Laura's running it, and my mom is in the grain cart. And across this ravine here, gully, whatever you want to call it, is about 10 acres of soybeans. But to get there, we somehow have to get that combine through this opening. That head is 35 feet wide, and all we got about here is, I don't know, maybe 10 feet. And this is also pretty washed out. I've gotten stuck here in the skid steer before, so I'm going to remove some dirt from the side, kind of fill it in a little bit, make it a little easier for the combine to cross, and I'm also going to mow up these weeds so we don't damage the head going across. So let's get the skid steer unloaded and get to work. I think that looks pretty good. Got it widened out pretty good. I'm gonna step it out, make sure it's 35 foot wide, but I'm gonna take the mower over on this stuff and knock it down a little bit. And there's also some shatter cane over here that I'm just gonna mow down, because all that's in beans and green stuff does not like to go through the combine. So I'm gonna mow it down real quick, clean it up, and I think we'll be good to go. All finished up. I think that turned out really nice. Now let's see if the combine can go over it. watch Laura take a halfway loaded grain cart through the gully. See if it bottoms out on the back. Perfect.
Grant's project went very well. And very good news for us. So this field that we're in, I know it's probably really difficult to distinguish fields apart from each other on screen. They probably all look identical. But if you remember back to planting, this is the last, I can't remember if it was the last field we planted or the last soybean field we planted. But either way, it was the field, if you watch all the videos and you pay really close attention, you remember. It was a video where I had to like walk all the way back to the road to get the extra bag of seed to finish out harvesting, or finished out planting. And so we planted 2 different hybrids here, one on one half of the field and a different hybrid on the other half of the field. And just with these past 2 passes, I switched over to the second hybrid of this field, and it is combining way better. So as you can see, these are definitely a little bit more green. There's still some leaves on the plants themselves, but they didn't blow over. They're standing up straight, which makes for much easier going. It's so nice. We won't know the exact yield difference until we calculate up the scale tickets and see which side of the field yielded better. Yes, please. I will actually probably turn around and go to the east though, and then start circling like from the inside out, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. That's my plan. But the numbers that we get back from this harvest will go into determining what we plant next year. I saw some comments on one of the last videos, and I figured this screen would answer some of those questions. Right now, the combine is burning 18.5 roughly gallons of diesel fuel an hour, and that's like at the current workload, which is this right here, and then at the speed we're going, and that is running, you know, the whole head, that's everything underneath of us and behind us. And then right now, also at this speed and everything, I'm getting on average 12.5 acres done an hour. Another thing a lot of you are wondering is, what in the world do we do with all of these soybeans? Because I mean, we are just hauling truckload after truckload after truckload of these off of the field. Where do we go with them and what do we do with them? So most of our soybeans are going to go to some kind of soybean crushing plant, and everything that they squish out of them is going to be used for different kind of oils, like everything that soybean oil goes into, which is a lot. It's actually very interesting if you look up everything that soybean oil is in, and then various like biodiesels and stuff like that, and then all of the byproduct after the bean is crushed, everything that's left is usually going to go to some kind of livestock feed. This is kind of embarrassing. Do you see this different looking patch in the field there? I specifically remember running out of seed and having to go back over this, and you can starkly tell the difference between that spot and just a regular spot that's only been planted on once. Luckily, I planted it and I'm the one that's harvesting it, so no one can really see the mistake except me, but also there's no one to blame except myself. This is my hydrostat handle, and I'm going to unload. Even though I'm only 36% full, I just need to top her off and then she can fill up that truck. So all I have to do is press this top button here, and then my auger swings out. And then when I want to start unloading, I just press this yellow button. It's yellow because it's important, and you don't want to hit it unless you are above a grain cart or a semi-truck. Grant was getting jealous of all my time in the combine, so he traded me out. I'm taking over the grain cart. I'm sad about not being in the combine anymore, but I'm also very sad about losing my refrigerator. Grant stopped the combine because something just wasn't feeling right, so we're gonna give it a little walk around here. I don't see hydraulic fluid leaking, And that's already a step up from the last time something like this happened. So nothing is wrong with the combine, at least that we can see. Nothing is leaking, hydraulic level is fine. But after getting out of the cab, it is, I know I'm wearing a tank top right now, but it is quite cool. And this morning it was super, super dewy and misty outside. It was really wet. And I think that moisture is just kind of coming back up, even though the sun is just barely setting.
Really like slow down. It's like something, maybe like air filter or fuel filter's plugged. That don't sound good.
Gage, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
When'd you get here?
I just got here.
Oh, you're just in time. We're having issues.
Yeah, it's a green 7. I called him about 2 minutes ago. I was spilling beans everywhere.
All right, we're going to see if it keeps working, if we need to move someplace else, or if we just need to call it quits for tonight. Brad!
The sun was so bright, I couldn't even see beans spilling over.
Yeah, okay. Aw, come on.
I got a shovel. We got Gage. We got a job for him.
Poor Gage just showed up from practice. We're going to make him scoop beans. I think you better do it, Grant. So it's pretty unclear actually what's going on. Grant just took off in the combine. He shut it off, let it sit for a while. You know, the old turn it off, turn it back on thing. And then he just continued going. So I guess I think it's working, but I really don't know. So I'm gonna have Gage bring the pickup back to the other end of the field. I'm going to bring the grain cart to that end of the field and we'll regroup. Well, what's the good word?
Well, like when your printer doesn't work, you just turn it off, turn it back on. Apparently that works for a combine. Oh yeah, we probably could have got finished today if we didn't have that, but we'll do it tomorrow.
But all in all, turned out okay?
I think so. No
it didn't throw the code anymore.
Oh, it didn't throw a code in the first place, and it just no hiccups.
Okay, we'll take it. Good way to end the day. Overall, I would say an incredibly successful day. If you haven't noticed, Grant and I are working super extra hard to put out like one YouTube video a day, or at least as close as we possibly can for you guys. So I hope you guys are noticing and appreciating.
And following along.
I hope it gives you kind of like a better idea of the storyline and what we do every single day and what it looks like. And then also get you caught up to almost real time. Right now, the YouTube videos are only just a couple days off from what we're actually doing every day. I'm really pushing for 500,000 subscribers before the end of harvest. I'm doing my best and it's really paying off. Subscribing is free, you guys. It only helps me, and then you can choose to get notified every time I post a video, which I think is pretty cool. You can be some of the first to view what I'm up to every single day. But you guys are helping me achieve my goals, and I really, really, really appreciate that. So, Grant, any parting thoughts for the audience?
I'm all thoughted out for the day.
Just a good day.
Too much thinking went on today. I filmed 2 videos today. There's a yard video that I'm working on for you guys too.
Oh, there you go. We're doing our best to keep you guys as updated as possible. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.